Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. I'm guided by Spirit, and who would have thought I would have stumbled upon something today? Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events, even crime that happens under the ground, if you know what I mean. Disclaimer: all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a green court of law. In this episode, I'm looking at the Cathedral Notre Dame. Excuse my version of the pronunciation, de Paris. Piqued my interest, obviously, with the fire that took place in 2019. At the time, I was aware of it. It wasn't like stop the press. There's a major event happening, because you'll recall during 2019, April in particular, a lot of countries were starting to shut down during the sick years. In South Africa, we went hard lockdown, and believe me, it was a hard lockdown from end of March, round about there. Don't quote me exact, but around March. So around the world, things are starting to shut down, and we have the burning of the world-famous cathedral. So we're going to look at those dates. We're going to look at the founding birth date of the cathedral. And I've done a 72-hour profile. And it just so happens to culminate in, preluded by Kate's carols. The following evening, dignitaries arrive are in Paris for the reopening ceremony and rah-rah, rock-a-rah, right? A lot of media space this morning with Donald meeting the bearded dragon. You recall in previous episodes on the Kate Fake shows, the massacre of young children in Southport ironically coincided with the opening of the Paris Olympique. So, and when, of course, we have the opening ceremony, who is there? The bearded dragon. Just from a visual point of view, if we look inside the church, classic Illuminati colors, black and whites, checkers, standout red. Of course, we are dealing with masonries. We're dealing with the who's who in the zoo, because that's where they come from, the zoo. Be that as it may, lookalikes, whatever, still in the zoo, and actually in the main, in the gutter zoo, in the sewer zoo. And I find the formation interesting. Here's another top shot. Bird's eye view, very ceremonial. A lot of the masonry imaging around. Penguin people came out to celebrate December the 7th. Now, initially, of course, it's a national event for Paris, right? For Paris. So why would dignitaries from around the world, and ironically, meet up at a cathedral of all places, right? Because surely reptiles don't need a church. Now, if you go into the history of Anunnaki, and around that time, and in particular here in South Africa, in Mpumalanga, we find the origin stories of peaks in buildings. For example, in these cathedrals, these peaks that are created at the top are for sound resonance. And back in the, if you are aware of the Anunnaki story, used as teleports. Sound resonance, there's evidence in South Africa. I've been there myself, physically been there. Teleportation site, ancient. Using sound resonance to teleport as the theory. There are three main theories, but one of them being this teleportation of the gold off the country, off the continent. So we find ourselves at a cathedral with these teleportation peaks, sound resonance. And I say this for a reason. Now, let's go to the founding date, March 24, 1163. Doing the good old search. This can be found in the obvious places, but my metadata, I'm recording this currently December 9. I'm recording now 20:30, 8:30 in the evening, Central African time. I had captured this a little bit earlier in preparation. So let's do a 369 on the original founding date for the cathedral. Back in the day when masonry was prominent, I would imagine. So immediately we see 27-9 and a stack of 11 twos, but let's break it down to singular numbers. We have the 9. Now this is your turnkey universal key here with the twos. So effectively what we have here is a portal sequence. Now we have a founding portal sequence at the cathedral. Okay. Let's point out some numbers. We have a hidden 33. Now this is what I find very, very interesting. I'm just confirming there. I saw there's the 40 there. If you have been watching the hurricane shows out there, Florida, North Carolina, people are still struggling. We pray for you. There's still people in trouble out there, and it's full ball winter up there. Nothing's been done. Well, let me just say, people are living in tents, and it's been how long? Now, what I'm getting to, in the cathedral sequence, we have a hidden 33. So what is hidden about this 33? 33, if we switch optics and go reptile, speaks about reptile creatures, otherworldly, alien worldly. Hidden, of course, E.T. wasn't standing at the door welcoming Donald Trump to the meeting, right? They had the bearded dragon in his suit meeting Donald in his suit, as we know them. Anywho, so 12.3, very interesting. You know, in my alien episodes that I've done, and in recent times, because now this brings in, this looks like Kate here as well. Yeah? I'm getting that hint. But be that as it may, 12.3, we're talking about assimilation into the universe. We've spoken about this before. We have UFOs flying in and out, 12.3 assimilation. We have a portal sequence right here in this building here that was just burnt down recently. That every single world leader, not every single, let's just say far from insignificant people, all gathered there this past Saturday. Each to their own. Let's go deeper. In the +6 of the founding date of Cathedral Notre Dame de Paris, we've got a problem here. At the start of the sequence, we've got a 3 plus a 30, outcome 3 conflict. In other words, we have a 3 plus 3 conflict, 3 verse 3 conflict. What does the 3 represent? I'm not going to go too deep because we're going to point out other numbers first before we start with outcomes, right? We've got a conflict here. So let's go back in the day, if you will. 1163, March the 30th, in Paris. It's a little bit cold, promise of autumn or spring in the air. Sorry, you Northern Hemisphere. Spring in the air. We're building. But as we start building, the first piece of earth taken out of the soil, out of the ground, there's already a 3 plus 3 conflict. So we can imagine it could be the local real farmers in the area, or whatever French people were in that area. Then E.T. comes with his UFO and starts building a cathedral. Can be that. 33.6. We have violation codes here. 33.6. That's the 7s in me getting cheeky. I remain humble in the presence of spirit. In the +6 of the founding day, we find a 33.6. One can argue masonry. We find an outcome 44.8. One can argue masonry. Power numbers. Everything done with intention. We got a portal sequence day. Hidden. The green ones. Hidden. On the surface 12.3. Look alike, assimilation, but hidden, the ugly ones. Lipstick ain't going to change a thing. We got conflict 3 plus 3. Communities are at loggerhead. Now, when you got a 33, who is this hidden 33 then? Because there's the conflict. 44.8 from the green perspective. Hidden plan, by design. One could argue, of course, with purpose. Of course, with the portal sequence and the 9 speaks of purpose. From a green perspective, 33.6. We might as well have something to eat and go while we're here. And the intention, unfortunately, don't get heebie-jeebies. Just getting a little bit of goosebumps going. In the +9, real intention, 36.9. Let's not believe the hype. We are friendly and we come in peace type people. 36.9 is not E.T. on the screen saying, E.T. want to go home. These E.T.s want to eat you as these E.T.s. Unfortunately. Now, not to speculate, because everything comes with coated caramel and sugar popcorn. In the +6, where real is real, we see an outcome 26-8, 17-8. Now, from a blinding cover-up perspective, we can say, wow, that's an amazing cathedral. They must have taken years to build that. Not only did they take years to build that, look how beautiful it looked. And wow, it got burnt, and all this time later, it's getting restored 100%. What a marvel. 44-8, 17-8. We switch optics to, I think this is a staging 26-8 situation. 17-8, what is actually behind or underneath the portal position? Because if we go green, we see 17-8. Reptile motherfuckers. So all is revealed in the +9 on March 24, 1163 in Paris. We start with 33-6. Wow, that's a shocker. 36-9, they don't really have manners. Go about it in a ghastly fashion, making fools of us. And they've infiltrated families already. So one can argue in one certain aspect, because I've actually asked this question myself, and we've seen it on shows, ancient aliens. When did these motherfuckers get in? Or when? One can argue, if you want to go with the I'll smack you with my Bible over your head situation, whatever, each to their own, whatever. It started then, you know what I mean? But here we have 1163. Evidence, in my opinion, green is for sure around here. And, yeah, here's a good answer. This explains why that water there in France is so shit. It's because they're in the water. Henry was fired from janitor services, kept on eating all the baby lizards, and no one has replaced his position, and therefore that stinky river through Paris is filthy, because these motherfuckers are in the water. 22. There's it there. Underneath the floating castle. Portal sequence to other worlds. Oh, other worlds. Listen up. Here's another significant number. Also related to the hurricane shows. I know it crossed my mind the other day. I said I was going to investigate the relationship between 20, 30, 30, and 40, 44. 40 with an outcome 4. 20, 30, 40. In relation to universes, other worlds. So we've seen the 30 in the formation of the church. In the church burning sequence, what do we find, ladies and gentlemen? The number 40, outcome 4. We are slowly and I may have mentioned this before, each metropole has their situation, right? But of course you have your next level metropoles like Paris, like London. So we definitely got ET on the ground as early as 1163, in my opinion. All right, so we can, if that is the case, when I mention infiltration within families, I'm sure there's been some other, of course, incubations, let's say lab-controlled incubations, integration 12.3 into life, humans intermingling, interbreeding. As far back as then, this bullshit on Congress Hill, bullshit stories. Not bullshit stories, but they now denied the whole existence of UFOs and aliens. Up until recently, they flat denied it. Now, oh, it's true, but we're going to control the narrative. Bullshit. You guys, you look pathetic, that side. Trying to control the narrative. Oh, now we agree. Okay. Deny, right? So definitely we've got a busy harbor port section here. Now, the day the fire goes down, 15.6 arson. If it was a genuine arson, I haven't read who and why and how this all started. If there is a story or not, I'm just going with what I'm seeing here. 1910-1, transactional. And again, when you see particular numbers in a crime scene, something is up. So, for example, if it was a regular Joe, and we've had a recent example here in South Africa, the Parliament buildings in Cape Town was burnt down, right, by this one singular person. Now, when you have 1910-1, that is not the individual. Yes, the outcome is the individual. Someone goes and burns it, or someone sets fire to it, whoever that person is. But is represented by a 10, a grouping. The grouping is not necessarily a group. Let's say 10, in many cases, represents organizational level, and would include operational standards level. On a monetary point of view, it does bring in around money, 10-1. 1910-1, intent with purpose. One can say there would have been an order for that fire to have been started. Not by someone by themselves deciding, oh, I'm going to go create shit. We're about to protest against being locked down. I'm going to go burn the cathedral down. No. There's a multitude of other people involved behind the scenes. Interestingly, the day before, we have a portal sequence, 9, with a stack of 3s. Portal sequence with a stack of threes. I've just been reminded of, and let's remind ourselves, the 33 conflict. 3 verse 30 with an outcome 3 conflict. We find a portal sequence with threes. In the +3 the day before, we find a conflict 12-3, 12-3. What is going on here? This is not a coincidence. There's a 3 + 3 conflict here, which is reflected in the founding. And there's a 33-6 as well. There's a 33-6 in the... This is connected to the source of the portal and space here as we know it. Now, why would there be chaos? Why would, for example, burn down the church on this particular day, right where COVID was about to lock shit down? Why would they do this? Why? Are they afraid that humans would come and visit the church during the hour of need? I mean, no disharm or disrespect or what when I say the following. And this is just a hunch. What lies beneath the church? That they need to protect. In my opinion, this fire in one aspect, and we'll go deeper, but it's pinged on me again, so I'm going to say it. It gave reason to close and cordon off this vicinity during COVID. Why would they want that? Because they didn't want the sick human beings coming near their portal space, infecting their portal space. That's one theory. We're in a portal space, ladies and gentlemen. We have a portal sequence the day before. If we go deeper, the day before +6, the action of the day, there's a 6 in the middle of the day, in the +3 at the outcome of the day before, so the night before, there are 6s. So what am I getting to? And then we see very first thing the next morning, the 15th, there's a 6 as well. The fire may have started before midnight. I haven't read anything. I could be completely making a fool of myself now. But all I'm saying is there's ritualistic behavior happening that night. Going into the night, sequences of 6s, which is fire. And was this the last jump here? Portal jump before we set the shit on fire? I don't know. Or are they closing it off so people don't come in and out there with their sick human disease, viruses, diseases? One could always, now I'm just going to add a little nugget of bullshit, right? Completely off topic. You remember during the beginning of sick year, during this time, 2019, round about here, it was a little bit earlier, and I say a little bit earlier, round about March, because if you're a Formula One fan and the Grand Prix was going to start in Australia, when that Grand Prix was on, and it was cancelled subsequently on race day, or in that weekend, Tom Hanks and his wife get sick all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden these celebrities are getting sick. drink the wrong blood, or tainted blood, or tainted other fluids and liquids that they generate, apparently. There was a bad batch in those days, right? It's funny, the celebrities got sick, high-profile celebrities got sick very quickly. Bad batches, motherfuckers. So we have all of this gobbledygook, blood sequences, fire sequences, the original conflict 3 verse 3 reflected in the original finding day as present. Yeah, you see here, if you look in the +6 the day before, 24/6 speaks about family. So are they protecting like their family, right? The green lizard family, motherfuckers. They don't give a shit about us. McDonald's. So we just here now, I've just heard, just as we started recording, Mr. Smiley Face was caught there in a McDonald's. Let's just see. Alright, so the day it burns down, it's all bullshit. 1910-1, operational as per script. All operational 37-10-1-18. Everyone knew about it. It was going to happen. Because we're all getting sick, we're going to have to close this portal, and we are moving to, here's where it gets interesting, we are moving to 40, outcome 4. If I'm not mistaken, the same situation happened in the 2 hurricanes, going from one to the other, 20 and a 40, ladies and gentlemen. We may have something here. If you're a real-time viewer and you've watched those hurricane episodes, we're talking about portals between worlds. We now have evidence here at a key point in history, 2019, April. This is when the world got sick. Or we can argue and say the world got poisoned, of course. Because it wasn't a natural event. So we're seeing leaving this plane to another, 40, outcome 4, while we suffer and while Tom Hanks recovers. Tom Hanks, I believe, was like the very first celebrity that ever got sick. How did he get that sick so quickly? And you know, Australia is a very famous portal sequence down there, right? Let's not kid ourselves. He wasn't there watching Formula 1. That may be the 17.8 cover. Yippee-da-da-doo-da. Alright, so definitely Hoaxy Pokesy show, April 15, the cathedral burns down. And by the way, I was given the message or the impression during this event, when the fire was started, it was particularly done in a particular way to cause only the damage that it did. Does that make sense? That's just the impression that I was given, right? Now, if we go back to the sequence, the Sunday, December the 8th, we are opening the doors to the church to have their ceremony or church service for the first time. Now, given what I've just spoken about, it's quite ironic, right? Why would reptiles be rah, rah, rocka, rah in the church, right? So what does the number say? December the 8th, look at all of these 8s in the real, triple 8s out of sequence. One can say this event is fraudulent. It is out of sync. It is chaos. There's something very wrong about this sequence. Oh, we have a hidden 22. Welcome, hidden 22. The portal gates have reopened. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. In order to protect the sacred world, we had to close the portal for a while. However, welcome back. Please enjoy your hors d'oeuvres downstairs after the ceremony. And don't let the people upstairs see what you have for hors d'oeuvres. Then we go into the +3 intention. All bullshit. 14.5, bullshit. Bullshit. But it does reveal the hidden community. 23.5. All the newcomers back. Oh, I miss this place so much. I'm glad we're back. Please hire someone to fix up that fucking river. Olympians were getting sick and dying in that river in Paris, which is linked to the Southport murder sacrifices. And then Taylor the Black Swan Swift. I was washed over by the news. Recently, latest news became a billionaire on a Erase tour. That show's coming up soon. I've been collecting little nuggets because I found that quite interesting. Of course, we know she dipped there into William. And we know she dipped into William. There's a selfie of them together. Let's see. In the +6 of the first ever meeting of religious gathering church on Sunday, we see a significant conflict. And this is why it's ironic that the lizard people and all their, I guess the regular humans won't know. But look, it says it here, 17.8 +8 conflict. Now, if we take it on a biological level, 8 biology. Now, why is this biology different? It's got a 17.8, not just an 8 biology. So what's the 7 here? So we find ourselves with reptile. There are reptiles here. Reptile blood. So even in numerology, it conflicts, it shows. So now in the sequence, we have 2 conflicts. The 3s, communities, and the 8s, humans versus them. Humans versus them. 17.8s. Please put your hands up, lizard people. One can only imagine someone just impressed on me, was this a send-off for Kate type thing, Ladies and gentlemen, I always found it curious, why would the rest of the world travel to Stinky River City, again having been there literally a month ago, to come and reopen a building? Doesn't that sound odd? Let's just take it on the oddness. You got all these high-profile people, all worth billions, high-value targets, all coming to the cathedral to come and open the door nicely. So in the +6 in the evening, 33.6, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we'll just wait for the TV crew to go home, and then we'll start the real festivities. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd just have a look through those tainted glass pane windows and see what we could see. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I love engage with them. And if you're up in the northern hemisphere, stay warm. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, stay cool. And see you soon. Bye for now.